Sage.
I'm Adam. Cantor.
Yes.
Hi.
Welcome to the 50% off store. And this is an installation it's a store installation, but basically what you'll find in here is kind of, I would say, we both are documentary photographers, and that's the kind of aesthetic that we're going for and how we approach photography and image making. And I'll speak to, a part of the installation is the store, which is, I made some paraphernalia for the store, which is the Colonist Times and the Land Stealer and Tent City, BC and Settler and Unceded, and they're kind of to subvert what you might find in a regular tourist shop. And I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I'll just say, I guess the big impetus behind the store and the idea of the store is kind of walking around Victoria as a photographer and as like an artist and an image maker and just like as a citizen. For instance, like the building where my studio is now for rent, for lease, and all the buildings around are for lease, and there's just so many empty spaces, and it was kind of like, okay, here's a chance to kind of take over a space and pretend like it's shutting down. I'm excited by kind of confusing people and just having it kind of be curious, and because that's how I was kind of going about taking the images, kind of having this kind of curiosity and walking around. And
she says that also very articulately. The interesting thing about it is that everything in here is a relic of some kind. So for example, the shirts are from thrift stores and they have rags and things that are sewn onto them. And I made this bench, for example, and the boards are from a renovation. They're building a condo in Chinatown. And so they took all these old boards out, and they're 100 years old growth wood, and they were just going to burn them. They were sitting in a dumpster, so I took them, and it's kind of a memory of the old Chinatown. And for example, these clothing racks, we took them from a dumpster at American Apparel, and it's all of this stuff that's lost and cast off. And so we have these very ironic postcards as well over there on postcard racks. And the racks themselves are made from reclaimed wood as well, and the postcards are pictures of different scenes of, buildings, derelict buildings and buildings for rent, and people who, in strange states of being and so on and so forth. I don't say exactly what, but yeah. So in that sense, the store is that. Everything is for sale, but in a sense, it's like this selling off of Victoria itself to these commercial interests that we don't even necessarily know who they are. But at the same time, there are all these box stores springing up, and people are being displaced, and small businesses are being displaced. And so this is a momentary record of those things. I think is what we're trying to do.
It's really kind of this archiving and collecting and questioning through the installation, through the idea of the store.
And also, people just really love bargains, so we're doing that for them. Everything's on sale for 50% off. Bargain, bargain, bargain.
Yeah.
Shop today.
Yeah, I mean, we're really trying to be playful and fun, but also talk about some really serious things, like homelessness and colonization and, garbage and all these empty spaces and like zero occupancy for renters, and just like this kind of giant spectrum of things that we're kind of feeling and observing.
So, for example, the downtown core is full of all these empty places for rent that have been for rent for years and everything. And it's as though the only people who can afford to move into them are places like American Apparel or The Gap and so on and so forth. People who have this ability to have a
transnational, multinational kind of presence.
An economics where they can afford to run at a loss indefinitely. And small businesses always get shut out in that respect. So that's why there's so many empty spaces. And landlords are just waiting to charge high rent to the people who can afford it, an economy of scale like that.
Yeah, so there's also another aspect of the exhibition, which is kind of asking the question of the audience and kind of bringing them into the store.
Oh yeah, that's at the very back.
So the very back is, it's kind of what's the best and worst about Victoria, because, I'm curious. I have my own notions, but I think that the people who come and maybe they have something to say, maybe they have a feeling, maybe they have an experience, and I'm interested in kind of archiving and recording all of that as well. So it's not just what I have to put out into the world. I want other people to kind of come in. I want it to be a two-way dialogue. So that's kind of like that's an important aspect for me in my practice and within this exhibition and this, store.
I actually prefer to have as little information as possible and make it confusing for people, but I'm compromising in this case because we're collaborating, and so I would have said a lot less. But it's fine. I don't mind. In this case, it's good to make some statements because we're being very textual, intertextual, so it's probably for the best.
Yes. And this is our homage to Duchamp, where he
again, that's from American Apparel's
he puts the
dumpster.
Mustache on the Mona Lisa, and Duchamp is a favorite of mine, and the ready-made has always been close to my heart. So
I also got to perfect my backwards writing by painting on the window as well, which was
yeah. So enjoy the 50% off store.
And thanks for taking an interest in it.
Yeah, I think I'll also just say it was fun to just play with the title of the gallery to confuse people even more.
Yeah, there was someone who came in earlier, and we just put one shirt on each rack, and the guy was like, "Have the shirts all sold already?" So
yeah, because there's like
really
the
mad.
extra hangers. He was just like, "Oh no, I missed it." I was like, yes, you did. You definitely did. Because we're going out of business.
We wanted it to look like a place that is almost, when you go to a store and it looks like the people have picked the racks dry, like vultures picking the bones of a muskox or something. It's supposed to look a little like that, just bare racks that are very sad.
Yeah. So, if there's anything else, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Long live the ministry.
Oh yeah, represent. Here at the 50-50.